Hi love, it's Renee. I'll be doing your spirit guide reading. Going into the cards, I'm feeling like a lot of feminine energy here from your guide. I feel like a lot of long flowing drapey kind of dresses, kind of like you would think of a depiction, an artist depiction of a Greek goddess with lots of long flowing robes and long flowing robes, fabrics, light color hanging down. So I feel like a lot of that energy there from your guide. I feel like that is her, kind of like how she's showing herself to you. I feel like you see women like that on TV or movies. A lot of times it can feel kind of comforting to you. Something you're drawn to where you feel that is, I don't know if it's like you feel that femininity or that you feel less like connected to for magic and stuff. I just saw the moon card on the bottom, which is awesome as I set it down. Whenever the moon card's on the bottom, I always, and it happens, feels like a lot in spirit guide or past life readings when I use cards for those. But it definitely feels like spirit is like, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. All right, let's start. So I get a lot of those long flowing robes looking into this. The name, I keep getting this name, it's like Giovanni, but it's like a J or a G, and it's, I feel like that G sound at the beginning, Gia. I feel like a lot of comfort, like a lot of things, kind of like they're turning, like a turning wheel, things turning back to how they should be. Either just recently turning back or like a lot of stress going on and just soon turning back to how it should be. I feel like there's been some changes, you know, not like little things. Feels like some pretty big changes in your life recently that, and I mean like, it's hard. It's like a whole new, it's kind of like you feel like a new chapter beginning in your life. Or the close of another chapter and wondering, you know, what this next chapter is going to look like for you. And I'm also feeling, what do I have? No, I don't have it over here. I thought I did. Oh, there it is. Also feeling a card here from Spirit Song for you. I'm getting the word angle, but it's not like an angle when we're looking at, you know, structure, but it's like a place or connected to a name. The A in angle is capitalized. I'm also getting the number 88 here. feels like maybe a lot of repeating 8s, something to watch for. Cards going everywhere. All right, well, we have this card. I'm going to leave here for a moment. Couple more. All right, it just doesn't want to. All right. So we're going to start, I feel like, with kind of like this message with the animal, and we had three cards appear. The 8 of Feathers, the Shaman, and the Page of Crystals. We have the Fox, the Dormouse, or is that just a regular mouse? Let's see real quick. 8 of Feathers, where are you? Mouse, just a mouse. Not just a mouse, a mouse. And then the Shaman is represented by the eagle. So, eagle is the courageous collector of spiritual knowledge. He holds the ability to connect to higher spirit teachers, rising above and beyond the material world. So that's with eagle. I feel that connection for you. Someone who's come into your life recently who may be like an eagle to you. It might be like a person you've been, you know, kind of like studying with, learning with, watching. Perhaps they have, you know, books of knowledge out there, or vlogs, things that are teaching you how to do certain things. So I feel like that has opened a lot of release inside of you. I feel as though you were like in this mouse kind of stage prior. Mouse is not going to allow himself to feel trapped for too long. He knows there's a world of possibilities excuse me, awaiting him, and stumbling blocks will be conquered with courage and patience. Mouse is quick and decisive little fellow who doesn't like to waste energy, focusing on releasing only energy needed to get where he needs to go. So here with Mouse, I feel like that was perhaps you before meeting this person or reading their works. I'm connected to a person. It could be like an entire like study, an entire branch, or new spiritual path for you. But I'm connected to Mouse being like very grounded and very feeling as though knowing there was more, knowing that there was other things, messages out there, and that the world was kind of bogging them down, making you just a little too grounded without having any of that head in the clouds kind of vibe. There was a person who was able to kind of lift you out of that. It's very interesting that we have, you know, the prey and the predator here too, but I don't feel like that's them attacking you kind of mode. I feel more of just them being stronger or further along in this area and able to really lift you up and help you. So then we have the Page of Crystals, which I feel like is a lot of your energy in this particular area. You know, I am drawn to spiritual just because we have the Shaman here, but it could be something else, you know, like going back to school, or starting a new creative venture, a new business, something like that. But the Page of Crystals, the Fox. So a master at problem solving, grounded and focused, emerged from the edge of the forest as your guide and working with your ambitions and ideas. Yes, yes, yes. So his keen sense of observation is a powerful tool when it comes to dealing with everyday matters and setting events into motion. Fox will show you the way to transition into pathway of accomplishment and take charge. So that to me is there's like this person or this path that you're going on. And Mouse was like that energy of you before, and then Fox, and it's all grounded, but feeling a little earthly trapped, but knowing there's something more. Now Fox is walking away from that energy and really exploring and expressing and learning, excited, able to observe and see the world around and see what will help on the adventure and pull that into your life, and then let the other stuff go. So that's really neat to see that going first into the reading. Now we're going to look into the guide that's present for you here, and we're going to look at like a little bit of the guide's energy. We're going to pull a Goddess Guidance Oracle card and an Everyday Witches card for this. Oh, lovely. And oh, I love seeing these two cards together. So we have the Queen of Cups, very nurturing, mothering, loving, emotional. And this is your guide that we're looking at today, present in our reading. And her name, the goddess energy that she uses to kind of represent her energy is Dana, the High Priestess. So, excuse me. You have divine knowledge that can help others through your spiritual teaching. Your wisdom extends back into the far reaches of ancient times. You've brought this knowledge forward into your present incarnation to be a one-way shower, so that others may benefit from your experiences. Don't delay in expressing this wisdom. I will assist you in manifesting platforms for your spiritual teaching, whether it's through teaching by example or through writing or speaking. All forms of teaching are equally valuable, no matter how many lives you touch. So looking for opportunities to teach, be a role model of peace. Know that you are a leader. There's parts of your life that perhaps you've been quiet to, parts of your soul and your purpose that you've been quiet to, feeling confused about how these parts of your life all coincide and interact with each other. I feel like a lot of strength here, a lot of there's something that you're really good at, and I feel like you do well with it. It may not be, you may not feel like it is directly spiritual, like it may not be something that you do and you're like, oh, I'm connecting to the divine and I'm doing this, that, and the other. But I feel like it's very creative inside of you, and you're doing this and you're having that connection through creativity, which creativity is very much this big part of the being, part of the divine. And every time we access our creativity, we are accessing our divine powers and strengths. With this being present, I feel like there's definitely something that you do in life that you could be a mentor or perhaps create workshops, workbooks, tutorials, patterns, a way to encompass this into your career, into your business, how you bring in money. I mean, even though this is very much like a nurturing kind of card, I'm feeling like an abundant opportunity here. And that's why this guide has been present in your life. I feel like she has been urging you forward, even if not necessarily to teach people how you do the things that you do, but to teach them or to show them peace, and show them, that you can incorporate different interests and different parts of your life into one, if that makes sense, because that is what I'm feeling from Spirit to share with you. Is there's just a lot of connection to you really influencing others, being part of their lives in some way. And I'm feeling like it's creative energy, because not only is this goddess, and it's kind of like those drapey dress thing too, but not only is this goddess like very nurturing and emotionally balanced, but she also draws in a lot of creativity, and she's kind of muse-like in a way. So how can you listen better to deepen your connection together? And we have the Magician and the temperance card. So a lot of balance here. What we notice first when we look at these is, everything on this card screams balance. There's healthy foods, fatty foods, lined walls, this yoga pose, one eye open, everything is about balance. And then we have this kind of like this more magical aspect coming in, because I feel, and I'm definitely, I feel your guide here. I get like this tingly feeling on my face when they're like really super present, and I can feel her very strongly here. There are opportunities for you to be deeper in your spiritual side, deeper in your magical side than you have been. And that's, I feel like you are very grounded. There's a lot of grounding going on, and that might be that mouse to shaman to fox energy we were seeing in the beginning, is allowing more of the magical and mystical into your life and into your mind. Let go of the idea of consequences. Let go of the idea when you feel like you're getting a sign and then you're like, oh no, it's just a coincidence. Oh, that's strange because, everyone said to me this today, and that, what a coincidence. These are like signs that are coming from your guides and the divine, and they're trying to speak to you. And I feel like sometimes the modern life for everyone, it's a very busy life. It's 2018, it's hectic, right? And it's electronic, and I feel that life can get overwhelming and it can ground us too much, and there's more of your magical and spiritual side that is dying to be let out. And once it does, I feel like the messages and signs that you are feeling and hearing from the universe will come stronger. There'll be things you can hear easier, or will appear as though they are more frequent in your life. I'm going to move some of these here, I think, so we can put there, have some of this out instead. There we go. So a lot of that kind of that just being more open to listening to the spiritual side. I feel like a lot of synchronicities in your life that sometimes can get passed by, but I feel like I've seen that in a lot of people. Like it's something that I feel like we all kind of pass by those synchronicities when we are heading into a more spiritual life. Like we pass by them for years thinking, oh, they're coincidence, or it's just synchronicity, it's no big deal. But there is a lot that is happening that is the universe trying to get in and talk to us. And once I feel like you're able to pick up on those more and those signs more, you'll be able to hear things inside easier. Something you need to work on in this lifetime, Seven of Cups and the Knave of Chalices. So here, we have, so the Knave of Chalices is also like the Page of Cups. So it's same emotional, creative kind of energy, goddess energy. The Knave is also very youthful kind of energy. And then we have the Seven of Cups, is all these choices being in front of us and just not being able to decide where to go. Really just about picking something and moving forward with it, and feeling as though, even though sometimes it feels like there's way too many options, sometimes we have to narrow things down for a little bit. I feel like I feel like this is something you're working on. I feel like since the Knave did come up reversed, that perhaps there's like still this energy of you easily getting sidetracked or wanting to jump into new things, learn new things, dabble in new things, and kind of leave things that you're working on behind just because it feels like the energy, there's like too much there, it's too much stress, it's taking too long, and you're like, well, I could do this and it'll go a lot faster, and I already kind of know how to do this. And a lot of this is really exciting, passionate muse energy that is kind of pulling out this creative side of you that is bringing you to all these different aspects in order to create this beautiful full soul inside of yourself. However, Sometimes this kind of energy can keep you from accomplishing or finishing your goals because you are feeling as though you are just drawn to learn and do so many things that that focus sometimes can fall away. Now, I feel this is something you have worked on strongly over this lifetime, so I feel like your focus is definitely honing in and becoming stronger, but there are still times that I feel like this comes up because there are still times in your life that you can get like unmotivated or pulled into different directions rather quickly, um, rather than just staying with something until you become an expert on it, becoming like a dabbler, like learning a little bit about everything in the areas that you're interested in. So how can you improve that? And again, we have the Two Pentacles cards here, Two of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles. So improving is this Five of Pentacles, keeping this on your mind. It's been a long and hard journey, but there's light just ahead. I mean, it's going to be a little bit longer before you can accomplish and finish your goals each time. Every time you have a new goal come up, there's other things in life that also come up with it, and it takes a little bit of time. However, if you just keep moving, you're going to hit those bright lights at the end. You have assistance at your side every step of the way, and just to remember things like this, it's really going to be what helps you accomplish your goals, is knowing at times things seem dark and hard, but they are going to be working out beautifully. And then we have the Two of Pentacles, which is about finding balance and knowing that even when we're completely balanced, there are still things that can take us off of that route. Illness, fun things, needing to put work aside for a short period in order to have fun, go out to the movies or to a concert or something like this nature. So there's going to be times where we just have to release and know that other things are going to come up, but to try to consistently build a balance and build a schedule within your life that you can work with on a regular basis, and then accept that other things will come up occasionally to pull you off, but then you can come right back in. How to stay more connected to your higher self, your spirit guides, and the source, divine spirit. Oh, beautiful. Oh, I love it. So we have the Four of Swords, which is about rest and contemplation, meditating. And then the Moon, I always love getting the Moon card. It's about only seeing part of the journey at a time, and knowing that we can't have every single step illuminated. You can look up at the moon and see like that final goal, that final beautiful moment is there. It's bright, it's in the sky, it's overpowering, it's just magnificent. So you can see that, and you can kind of see each step that you take. You can see a little bit of the path lit by the moonlight or by the starlight, a little bit at a time, but you're not going to know that whole path until you finish it. So definitely meditation, knowing that things will take time, but staying connected by taking time each day to, even like for 5 minutes, just meditate, clear your space, do a cleansing ritual, be in focus with the phases of the moon and connect to those and what they mean to you. I feel like, I saw this the other day, and I encouraged a friend to do it as well, but the phases of the moon, along with charting, like anxiety or stress, depression, and seeing, different times of the month that can trigger that, and it's the gravitational pull of the moon having that energy effect on you, and kind of doing that and knowing which days that you need to meditate more, or step back from social media, or step back from certain people, reflect within, or reach out to certain friends. That's just something that's going to take time, but to pay attention to. I definitely feel that starting with meditation, and we have a new moon coming up Thursday, or it could be Wednesday or Friday, just depending on part of the world that you live in, but that connection to really setting yourself an intention on that new moon of making meditation a part of your daily life. And if you don't meditate now, doing guided meditation, or if you've been meditating for years, make a change to it. Add in crystals, or change the kind of music, or turn off the music or something. But a lot of staying connected through meditation, very important. Your life's purpose in this lifetime. So we have the Four of Pentacles as well as the World card. I feel as though you're going to not really have... So the World, I feel like you're going to reach a lot of your dreams and your desires in this lifetime. I also feel that these are going to be not connected to finances, but your life's purpose in this lifetime is to find, I don't want to say being poor, but it's almost like finding peace in being poor. So that's the words that the guides are giving me, but I feel like there's maybe being richer in life and love than you are in the bank account is another way to look at that. Not necessarily like you're not going to have any money, but that the careful spending, careful saving, in order to have no stress when it comes to money, releasing bills, paying off bills and not having those, and releasing some of that money stress, and then finding love and peace and harmony in other parts of your life, such as friendship, love, spiritual connection. So I feel a lot of releasing in this lifetime of finances hold on you, and feeling richer in love and connections to other people. And when we say love, it's not always that romantic marriage love, but it can be with a child, with a parent, with a best friend, with an animal, with yourself. So definitely a lot about love that's not connected to finances. Peace that's not connected to finances, I guess I should say. How to keep getting closer to your purpose. And again, we have the I love this. So we have the Hermit, which is looking inwards, reflecting, meditating, seeking answers within. And then we have the Knave of Swords, which is continuously studying and learning and going into new bits of studying with, or not new bits of studying, but new interests with that, really like that goal of just being excited about knowing things. I feel like for you, knowledge is power. And when I say power, I don't mean like people bowing to you or anything, but it feels really good for you to understand and know things. I feel like you have a mind who is always learning, and it might be, about science, it might be poetry, it might be art, it might be computers, it's just, it may be a specific goddess that you're looking at, but there is a need inside of you to continuously learn. And a lot of this is going to come from books, but a lot of it is also going to come from meditation, reflecting and understanding messages from the guides, messages from your higher self as they come in. I feel like there's definitely a world of knowledge within each one of us that we've never accessed, that we get bit by bit as we meditate. I feel this very strong pull to remind you here, you can meditate and look for an answer and not get it during meditation. And 2 weeks later, you might turn on the radio and a phrase someone says is like exactly what you needed to hear. So just being open to learning, but also open to learning from within and not necessarily from without all the time. And then anything that your guide is wanting to share with you right now. So we have the Seven of Pentacles, which is something taking a long time, slow to develop, but that it is not going slow because it's wrong. It's going slow just because there is like a building blocks and structure that is being formed. And then there is a masculine energy. And we look at masculine, it's not always male. It could be male or female, just with more masculine traits. But the this is like a person who's in your life. Perhaps you've been waiting for them to reach out to you, or you've been waiting for waiting to meet someone, or this is a person that you had a falling out with a long time ago, and you haven't heard from them in a long time, and it's it doesn't have to be at first I was drawn to romance, but it doesn't have to be. It could hold that, because we were just talking about how love's not necessarily about romance and that kind of love. It could be someone who is coming back into your life, who, like a father figure or a mentor or somebody, but someone who is very nurturing and caring in a masculine way. I feel like there's been a path or journey that one of you has been on that took you apart from each other. Maybe either emotionally the two of you have come apart, or physically the two of you have come apart, but I feel like there is some kind of really strong and healthy moment that is coming up between the two of you. Them opening up and really expressing something with you. I feel like it's a really beautiful thing, and it feels like it's been a long time in the making. Maybe this is someone who's coming from the past, who you guys had, it was like a best friend, or a sibling or something, and the two of you had a mega falling out, and they're going to be coming back and be like, a lot over the years, over the months, I've thought a lot about this, and I feel like I made mistakes in this way, and that you made me feel like this in this way, and the two of you will have a nice hashing it out kind of session, fixing things between each other, because you've allowed time to kind of heal those wounds and really allow yourselves to grow. So yeah, that has been your spirit guide reading. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. I loved doing that. I felt like your guide was really present in the reading, and that's always appreciated when they have like that strong presence, where I can feel not just getting the mental images and the mental wording from them, but also like feel their physical presence. So I hope you have a really blessed rest of your weekend, and thank you again. All right, bye, sweetie.